Hey everyone, it is Bridget here from Bridget's Kitchen, hoping you are having a absolutely fabulous day today and coming to you with a very special little cooking class today for our Tuesday here in Sydney. And I've just spent the most wonderful weekend with family, and we ate lots of food and lots of healthy food and lots of treat foods as well, but the most wonderful weekend with family who we've just finished dropping off at the airport. So goodbye to mum and dad and goodbye to Ola as well. Loved having you guys hanging out with us for the weekend. It was absolutely marvelous. And while we were here, we got to talking a lot about different types of foods, of course, as you do. And one of the things that came up a few times is they were asking me whether I had a sweet pie recipe. So they were after something, not necessarily with pastry, but I think, we've got this, and I think it's a Kiwi thing as well, we've got this real thing for pies, and we don't tend to have a lot of sweet pies. We do tend to have more meat pies and with cheese and stuff like that. So we got to talking about pies, and I thought that I would do a special little sweet pie cooking class with you guys. Very simple recipe. Now, the recipe that I am using, and hello to everyone who's joining me today. We've got someone coming in from WA, I can see, and Lisa's joining us from New Zealand as well. Good afternoon, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. Great little class to be a part of today, as I was saying. So, we're going to be making sweet pies. And the pie recipe that I'm doing is actually something that I have already put out there. I've already given it out to you guys, and it's actually, I'm going to show you where I've got it currently sitting. If I can just open up my little tablet here. So if you have Bridget's Healthy Treats, the ebook, Bridget's Healthy Treats, the ebook, this is one of the 30 recipes that is in my Healthy Treats ebook. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take the base of this recipe that's in the ebook, and it's my apple pie mug cake. If anyone's tried that, it's like a 3 or 4 minute most wonderful dessert that you can create. But I'm going to give you not just that recipe today, but I'm also going to show you some alternatives. Because yes, it's an apple pie, but what if you don't want to use apple and you want to make another type of pie, and you don't have to use apple? I'm going to give you some examples of how you can still use the base recipe straight from the Healthy Treats ebook. And it's right next to, if I have a look, apple pie mug cake is right next to my caramelized apple fool. We have my vegan aroha bars, 5-minute strawberry shortcakes in there as well. So lots of awesome recipes. This is just one of them. But today I'm going to be giving you some alternatives to apple. So you can kind of mix it up a bit. And I'm also going to be showing you a really cool little trick that can get you baking away there without any fuss whatsoever. So, apple pie mug cake, obviously, is done in a mug, and it's usually cooked in the microwave. You can put it in a jar, just like this, doesn't have to be done in a mug. So we'll start with the base of that, just so we can run through that recipe first. I'm gonna bring you guys on down here. I'm gonna bring you on down here to the bench today, and let's just run through the base recipe, because that's what we're going to get into first. The base recipe is very simple. So it's an apple pie mug cake, and this is the one that I would normally cook in the microwave. So very simple. You want to take yourself up first, obviously an apple. I'm using a green apple, and the reason I'm using a green apple is because it's nice and tart. So we like that sort of tartness from the apple. Look, if you're not a fan of green apples, by all means use another type of apple, but I particularly like them because I like the tartness. And I do find when it comes to baking, or when it comes to cooking, they do tend to hold their shape a lot better as well. So I'm just going to peel off our apple. I'm using quite a small one, and would you believe that this one apple here, this one small apple here, you can actually make 2 mug cakes out of. So you only need half an apple per portion. So I will start with just half. I'm going to take up my grater here. You probably want to avoid this side because it's a little bit too fine and it'll probably turn it to apple juice, and you really want grated apple. So I'm going to use just the coarser side and just going to grate off half the apple, approximately. You don't have to be exact here. You're after kind of like just a small handful of grated apple per mug cake. So we'll start with that. So you want to take up this, and if it's going into the microwave, which this particular version is going into the microwave, so we can see both, you probably want to put it into your mug first, or your jar, and just cook that on high for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to pop it in the microwave, which is just behind me here. And all it needs is 30 seconds, just because the actual mug cake itself only spends a couple, well, not even, I think it's about 90 seconds in the actual microwave. So you need to just start to cook the apple just a little bit. But in saying that, if you like your apple to be really firm, you don't even have to go through that cooking process now. You can even just go straight into making the mug cake, which is so incredibly simple. Happy with that. That was 26 seconds. That's all we need. It's got a little bit of a heat to it. You can see there's a bit of steam coming off there. Fantastic. All we need to do now is start to actually make the cake itself. So I'm using 3 types of spices today, 3 of my favorite. Reminds me of Christmas. I have cinnamon up the top here, and we just want a pinch of each. So almost like a 1/4 teaspoon of each of our spices. So cinnamon goes in. Let's also add some mixed spice, which is a selection of, there's nutmeg in there and all sorts of stuff, even a bit of cinnamon. You can never have too much cinnamon, I reckon, especially in something that's like an apple pie. And the last little spice I'm going to use today is just some dried ginger. Goes in there too. Not even going to bother to stir it. This is so quick, you don't even have to bother to stir it. We're going to also break in 1 egg, go straight into the mug. We're going to take some almond flour, which is here. Almond flour, almond meal, does not matter. And you want to add 3 tablespoons of the almond flour straight into the mug or the jar. I've got my friend inulin here, tablespoon of inulin powder. Oh, I've got a teaspoon in there, so I'll just add a couple of those. That goes in there. And last but not least, just 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder goes in as well. So that is the base of it. Simple, huh? We're going to give it a quick little mix with a fork. You don't have to be very careful here. It's quite a rough and ready sort of a mug cake. Just as long as those spices are nicely incorporated. And then that is now going to go into the microwave for another 90 seconds, and that should be cooked. So 90 seconds on high. Just like that. Easy, right? But because I promised you some alternatives today, remember that is the base recipe. So that is a recipe that you're going to find on the Healthy Treats ebook. I think Mahe's throwing up a link for that Healthy Treats ebook. Yep, he's throwing up a link for you guys if you want to purchase one. I have a Facebook shop. You can go there and you can purchase the ebook, which is fabulous, and 30 recipes in there. But I'm also now giving you another 1, 2, 3, 4 alternatives to that apple pie mug cake. And I'm actually going to teach you another way you can cook it too, which is super exciting, because I know for some people that don't like using the microwave. So here is the alternative. So for all of you who said to me, oh Bridge, I don't like using microwaves, what can I do to make myself my own little cute little dessert? I'm now going to show you guys how we're going to do that. So while that cooks, I'm going to prepare the remaining the ingredients for the other variations of apple. And the first one that might spring to mind, I'm not sure if you guys are on the same sort of spot that I'm in right now, but I'm thinking the first one, and probably the most obvious one, would be, if we're not doing apple, what other type of fruit could we add into it? Can anyone guess? 3 tablespoons, remember that's the base, 3 tablespoons. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons into all of these, just so it saves me later on. Even though I'm doing different flavours, I might as well just do it all at the same time. It just makes things easier. Different flavours, there we go. So anyone can guess, if we're not using apple, what other types of fruit can we use? The most obvious, I would think, would be berries, right? Especially because we're coming into summer. And berries are in abundance, but let's check that first cake, it's ready. Oh, hot potato. Oh, lucky I've got calluses on my hands. Look at that. Already. Woohoo. Already done. Already cooked. I'm just going to let that sit there just for a couple of seconds, just to cool down. But I can just see it's lovely and spongy. You notice I didn't have to put any grease or anything like that to grease or line the mug, because it's literally going to be able to just do this with, going to do it fast, hot fingers. Oh, now it doesn't want to come out. I'm gonna have to use this now. I forgot this is a jar. Oh, here we go. Come on, darling, you can do it. Come on. Sometimes you gotta coax it out there. Oh, there we go. All right, so after 90 seconds, you now have this wonderful treat. And it's up to you how you finish it off. You could finish it off with a bit more apple if you wanted to. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do. I've got my coconut yogurt here. So everything remains dairy-free, of course. Bit of coconut yogurt. I'm going to take up my little apple again. And let's just finish that off with a little bit of freshly grated apple. That can just go on top there. You could finish it off with berries. You could finish it off with, you know, anything you like. But to stay in, I suppose, in focus with the fact that we're making apple, I'm going to finish it off with a bit of apple. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of inulin just into my little, I got a little sieve here. And that comes over the top. And this is like icing sugar, yeah? Except it's obviously not sugar. And we're just going to dust the inulin over the top, maybe a little bit more. Just to make it look exciting. There we go. Dust that over and you are ready to eat. Just like that. Fabulous, right? Absolutely fabulous. So that is the first version. And this is the one that we've got in the ebook, yeah? So now let's get into the other versions. And now, as I was saying, we've got all these opportunities in front of us. I'll do the fourth one in there. We've got all these opportunities in front of us to just change things up a little bit, because that's what's exciting about eating healthy, is we're not just stuck with apple. We can do something like add berries. So I'm going to add in some berries into one of these. I'm even going to go whole blueberries. They're going to go in. And then I'm going to take up some strawberries. And you don't need that much. Remember, it's about a small handful of whatever fruit you decide to use. It's just a small handful. And now I need a knife. Not a knife there. A small handful of each, whatever fruit you decide. So the first variation we're doing is we're going to be doing it with berries. You can use fresh berries, you can use defrosted berries if you wanted to. It's completely up to you. I quite like having the fresh berries in here because it just, you've got that little bit of texture, which is really, really nice. That goes into the pie. And as I was saying, berries are in season. It is totally berry season, so why wouldn't you want to add some wonderful berries into the mix? And what berries you choose is up to you as well. One of the wonderful things about berries is they're really, really good for us. They're really low in calories, so you can eat them and not feel any guilt whatsoever. They're really low in calories. They're high in fiber as well. So they're just really one of those wonderful fruits that are really, really good for us. So that's our berry one there. Looking good. Let's finish that off. So remember, to finish it off, all we need is some inulin. Goes in. That's going to give us that little bit of sweetness, but it's also going to increase the fiber content because it's a dietary fiber. We're going to add a pinch of our baking powder, and of course we're going to add in our spices. So when it comes to strawberries, I'm just going to add cinnamon into this one. I think I might avoid the mixed spice. I'm going to put in about half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm going to avoid the ginger as well, just because I think cinnamon and berries go very, very nice together. And I'm also going to put in just a little bit of pure vanilla. Is going to go in there as well. Strawberries and vanilla. Yeah, that's a good combination. We like that one. And then we take up our egg. Our egg goes in, of course. And give it a little bit of a stir together. So that's easy. So now we've got a berry one. Nice and easy. If you've got berries in your fridge, or if you feel like eating berries instead of apples today, you now have the opportunity to start making yourself a bit of a cake. And yes, of course, you can put it straight into your jar or your mug and throw it in the microwave for 90 seconds, and you're going to have, which is going to be a really fabulous little cake or pie. But we're not doing that today. Instead, I'm going to show you another method. So back here again, the next one I was thinking about, which may be a little bit obvious as well, is we can do a banana one. Why not, right? So let's do a banana one. The banana ideally needs to be mashed, but once again, if it's a really soft banana, you can mash it up, but I'm just going to chop through because I really like to have those pieces of fruit in my pie or in my cake, so to speak. So I'm just going to chop them up today. But you could literally mash everything up, especially, like I said, especially if your banana is super, super ripe. And remember, the riper the banana, the browner, the nastier the banana, the more sweetness that you get, natural sweetness. And what you will find when it comes to banana, you don't even need to add inulin. I always find that inulin is not necessary when it comes to banana. Cinnamon is once again my spice of choice, because banana and cinnamon are really, really, really good friends. You know what else you could put in this, which would be really delicious? You could add some chia seeds in here as well, which would be really, really nice. You could add a little bit of coconut flour instead of almond. The choice is yours. Once you've got the base to this, follow the same processes, but mix up the fruit and mix up the flours. You don't have to stay on this. This is just to get you started, and then it's up to you how you continue on in life. So that is our banana one. Remember, mashed or not mashed, completely up to you. Whatever you decide. Do I have an egg in there? Not yet. Let's throw an egg in. And no inulin needed when it comes to banana, because banana is really, really sweet. So we don't have to add anything else. So this becomes a very, very simple and very delicious. Look at that, I'm just giving it a bit of a mash as I go through as well. So that's our banana one. And done. Wonderful. Put it next to that. The next one I'm going to do. Now this is when we start getting a little bit left field. A little bit left field for you guys, but I think you're going to know where I'm going. Why can't we do a carrot one? We eat carrot cake, right? Why can't we have a carrot mug cake or a carrot mug pie? Absolutely we can. So, same principle as our apple. Exactly the same. We're going to peel our carrot. Of course we're going to peel it. If we can work out how the peeler works, it works like that. We're going to peel our carrot. We don't need much. Remember, about half a small, just a small handful of whatever fruit or vegetable that we decide to put in. But this time I'm actually going to go for the smaller grater. I use that one for the apple. I'm actually going to use this side here because I want the carrot to be a little bit finer, because it is a little bit different to apple, as in it does require a little bit more cooking time. So we're going with the finer grate on the carrot. And this is the size I would use when I make my little carrot cupcakes as well. I use this side of the grater because it needs to be nice and fine. That's heaps, heaps and heaps and heaps. That can now go into our little bowl. Thank you very much. And what else? All right, we're going to go with our baking powder, half a teaspoon. We're going to add in our almond meal. I've already got it. I'm not going to do that. Thank you for reminding me, guys. I've got my egg. And the last thing I need to think about, oh, not the last thing, the second to last thing is, yes, carrot does need a bit of inulin. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Unlike our friend the banana, which is lovely and sweet, even though the carrot is sweet, but I would totally suggest you add an inulin. I'm putting in a tablespoon of inulin in there. And then when it comes to the spices, think carrot cake spices. And yes, cinnamon. Absolutely. Yes, mixed spice. Absolutely. They go, all these things go so well in a carrot cake. They're going to go extremely well in our little mug pies that we're making. And some ginger. That goes in. So those are our spices when it comes to our carrot pie. But you could also add in walnuts in here if you want to. Just chop up a few walnuts and throw them in. They'll be really nice. Some pecans or something like that will come across really, really well. And of course we go back to our, oh, I've lost my fork again. Go back to our fork. Give it a little bit of a twist. And now we have our, our carrot cake mug pie. Right, last one. Promised you 4. Last one. Let's go with the almond meal, of course. 3. Remember, 3 tablespoons of almond meal. Goes in there. Ooh, wonderful. I'm also going to add in our baking powder. Of course, half a teaspoon. I'm definitely going to be adding inulin into this one, and I'll show you why in a second. 1 tablespoon of that goes in. And of course, we want to finish it off with our egg. And then what is she possibly using this time? If anyone can guess what I'm using this time. Ready? Ta-da! Zucchini. We're going to be doing a zucchini pie cake. Sweet, of course. Back to exactly what we're doing with the carrot and the apple. Take off the ends in. Grab up your grater. I'm going back to the larger size here rather than the smaller size. The larger size because zucchini is very similar to apple, as in It is very high in water content. It doesn't need much time to cook. In fact, it is a very nice thing to eat raw as well. So we can afford to have ever so slightly bigger pieces of zucchini in our pie. Ooh, what did I do with the jar? Oh, it's right in front of me. Couldn't see it for looking. All right, that goes in. What spices I'm going to be adding today into that one is I really love ginger, so I'm going to be adding ginger in there. I think that'll be absolutely marvelous. Bit of ginger and just a bit of mixed spice just to keep things interesting. Yeah? Bit of mixed spice. So at this point in time, what you could do right now, of course, is you could go ahead and you could cook these cake mixes in your microwave, just like we did with our first one, yeah? 90 seconds on high and something like that. You can totally do that. But I promised something completely different. So today, I'm actually going to be cooking them in, you may have seen this sitting on the bench there, an actual pie maker. So I've got one of those Kmart pie makers, if anyone's ever seen one of these, which is just brilliant. And I've got 4 pie maker holes. And so of course I now have 4 different flavors of our mug cake, which are going to go in there and create pies. So zucchini goes in, you don't have to grease it. And yes, I have had it on heating up. And I find that this mixture is perfect size for pies, by the way. Absolutely perfect. So that one goes in. Let's go with the next one. We've got our carrots going in as well. You can hear the sizzle. I'm very excited by all of this, by the way. Very, very, very excited. Berries. Can you guys see? Berries are going in. As I was saying, this mix is the perfect mixture, quantity-wise, to go into our pie maker. It absolutely fits it perfectly. And look at that. Within a couple of minutes, I've managed to do 4 different flavored pies. And that's our banana going in there. All that's left to do now is wish the pies luck. Close the lid. If you can, give it a bit of a squish down. Remember, it's going to rise up because we've got a bit of baking powder in there, so that's all good. It is going to cook down. Squish them on down. There we go. And after a couple of minutes, and yes, one of the sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. I think I need to tighten the thingy before you guys all fall off, and that would be really interesting because you'll just see floor after that. So those don't take very long, because one of the beautiful things, come back here. One of the beautiful, I'm being really careful now as I'm bringing you guys down. I'm being really, really careful. One of the really cool things about this pie maker, and I know it's got, like, you can go on like Facebook pages where people are showing you what you can make in Kmart pie makers. But I guarantee you, this little recipes that we're doing today, I've never seen it anywhere, because I'm just like, oh my God, I can do it in the pie maker. And I've given you 4 different flavors, and this is the perfect thing. If you've got kids at home for school holidays at the moment, this is perfect. Firstly, they can make it in the microwave if you don't have a pie maker. If you have a pie maker, you can do 4 at once, and it is a healthy, healthy, healthy treat for them, for you, for everyone, and they're so incredibly simple to make. So what did we do today? Let's recap. We did the apple pie mug cake, which is from the Healthy Treats ebook. That's the first thing that we did, and that's the base recipe. And then we did a carrot cake pie. I'm trying to get the wording right. And we did a zucchini cake pie. We also made a banana and cinnamon pie, and we made a strawberries and blueberry pie as well. So there are additions, of course. I'm just going to have a little sneaky peek. I know you guys can't see, but I can hear it sizzling away there like mad. So it's sounding pretty awesome. You can make all sorts of different pies, anything that you can possibly think of flavor-wise. I've given you some basic ideas, but you then go ahead and make it and create it your own. So they don't need very long, and as I was saying, probably about 5 minutes, because we want it to cook through in the center. We definitely want it to cook through in the center. I'm going to have one. I can't stop looking. I'm sorry. I'm naughty, aren't I? Oh my gosh, one of them's exploded. One of them's gone, whoa! It's going to be amazing. I promise you, they're going to be amazing. And it's the main reason I did the pie maker is I wanted to give you guys an alternative to the microwave. Because I know it does get a bit of a bad rep, the microwave. It does get a workout in our house, only because we've got a big, busy household. People coming at all manner of the morning and the night. heating up dinners and stuff like that. So it would be, for us it makes sense, but I totally get it if you're an anti-microwave person. You now have your alternative. Now I only wish this one thing right now, that you were standing in the kitchen with me, because the smells coming out this little came-up pie maker is amazing. So one of the greatest things I like about it is you plug it in, you put the mix in, and you make pies. It's pretty easy. But I also like the fact that it is non-stick, so you don't have to add, you notice I didn't grease them at all. I did not grease them at all, which is really, really cool. So after 5 minutes, you're gonna get pie. I'm still looking, but I'm actually gonna, just because I don't expect you to stand here with me for the next 5 minutes and wait for the pie to be ready, I'm just gonna show you what we have. I can't even bring you down now, I'm scared that you're gonna fall over. I'll try it. If you fall over, let me know. Okay, I'm just being really, really gentle. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Now, one of them exploded, but pretty happy. The big reveal. This is after just a couple of minutes, remember? Me just talking, just having a little bit of a yarn with you guys. And look what we have already. Look what we have. We have these fabulous looking pies that are almost ready. I'm gonna see if I can get one out. It might let me, it may not. But there's no harm in trying, right? Because remember, you can always put it back. Oh yeah, this one's letting me come out. So this one here, check that out. Ah, it's hot. Wow, it's really hot. I'll close the lid. This one here was our banana pie. So remember, that was with no sugar. And already, can you see how we've got that lovely little ooze of banana coming out because it's nice and sweet? No inulin as well in that one. That's our banana pie. Look at the base. How cool is that? I know it's still a little bit raw in the middle, so I will put these back in, but I just want to show you guys what we have achieved after a very small amount of time. And look how good that looks. That's afternoon tea, that's morning tea, that's actually lunch. That's anything you want it to be. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get the zucchini one out. I'm really tempting fate with my fingers here today, guys, but for you, I will. All right, oh, this one needs to be in there a bit longer. He's not gonna come out, that one. Okay, our berry one exploded. I reckon I can get him out. Or not. No, it needs a little bit longer too. You know what? We're just gonna have to make do with this one. That's all not ready. So, here we go. Okay. The idea is, you start with this. Yes, the apple pie mug cake recipe. And you can get that on Bridget's Healthy Treats ebook, which is available. I think Mahay's popped up a link there. And you can also go straight to Facebook Bridget's Kitchen, to my shop. I've got a shop where you can buy my cookbook, you can buy my ebooks, and you can buy my meal plan, and that's all there. You just literally go to Bridget's Kitchen page and it pops up all there. So we start with that, right? We start with that, which is lovely just on its own, and that was done in the microwave. And then you change up the flavors to suit you. So we do a banana one. You could even put sugar-free chocolate chips in there. You'd have banana and chocolate chip. There we go, right? Think outside the square. In fact, what I want to see you guys do is show me what you can come up with flavor-wise, because I reckon we could have 100 flavors easy of our healthy sweet pies. So this is banana and cinnamon, but you can do banana and chocolate chip, healthy chocolate chip. And here, but you can't see because they had not quite cooked yet, but you can see them there. We have our zucchini one, zucchini and ginger. Amazing. We have our carrot cake pie, and at the back there, exploding like Mount Vesuvius, we have our berry pie as well. We could do berry and chia. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna leave you guys to go mad with your flavors. Make sure you tag me in. I wanna see all these flavors, and then we'll collect like a document, and we'll put all our favorite flavors together, and we can all share in these amazing treats together, which will be just the best. All right, guys, I have had absolute fun with you today. I hope you've had fun too. Please keep on coming back. Please keep on sharing the content. Please like and subscribe and do all that sort of stuff that you need to do. And please enjoy the rest of your day, and enjoy, if you're on school holidays with your grandkids or your kids, enjoy that, and enjoy the cooking. Main thing, right? Enjoy the cooking, because then you enjoy the eating. All right, guys, love you lots. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.